right, girls. Well, we rehearsed.
To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. Everything you own in a box. To the left, in the closet. That's my stuff, yes. If I bought it, say, don't touch.
Girl, we sound mad good.
What's good, what's popping, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Lelona, and thank you so much for tuning into yet another episode of Everything Lelona, where we talk about everything and anything. Cheer. Now, if you are new here, welcome, baby. I really hope that you'll enjoy this video. That'll make you hit the little subscribe button somewhere over here. And if you are a regular subscriber, I gang say one, what's good, what's up, what it's future. I really hope that you are well and that you are taking care of yourself. Okay, so we are back with another story time, and in the story time, guys, I am about to tell you about something very triggering. So trigger warning, okay? So it's very triggering for me because this has never happened to me before this happened, and it never happened after this happened. So I'm like, you hate me. Like, this guy literally threw me out of his house. He said, you need to get the fuck out. And I got the fuck out, and this was in the middle of the night. And yeah, so this is a story time about how a man of God kicked me out of his house in the middle of the night. So if you are interested and excited for this story time, please give this video a huge thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, share the video, super thanks me, grab yourself something to drink as well. I have myself and I some piping hot tea because Joburg is cold. It's cold like in Yalendo I'm about to speak about. Okay, so without wasting anyone's time, let's get into the video. So the story time took place in the year 2018, 2019 there. Ne? I had moved from Pretoria and I'd moved to Johannesburg. So I think I've told the story 1,000 times already of how I moved from Pretoria to Joburg, right? So when I moved from Pretoria, I moved and I went to live in North Riding. Then from North Riding, I then moved to the CBD, right? Sharp. So when I got to North Riding, the first thing, or one of the first things I did was to look for a church because I was very much a church mouse. I was very much a church person. I enjoyed going to church. I haven't been since 2019. So, but yeah, before then I used to love going to church, and so the first thing I did was to find myself a church. So I did find a church in Cosmos City, which was very close to where I stayed, and I went to that church and I loved every single moment of it. Now, with me, right, if you know, you know, I used to be part of the worship team. Literally at every church I went to, or every church I was a member at, I was also a member of their worship team. Yeah, boy. So even with this one, it wasn't any different. So I was going to this church for a couple of weeks, and then I was like, you know what? I think I want to actually join their worship team. So I asked around, how do I join the worship team, Yalab? They told me. And then obviously I went for auditions. And they said, yeah, you are part of the worship team. And then, because there wasn't a lot of males in the worship team, and the males that weren't there weren't like lead vocalists, and then they heard me sing, they were like, you're going to be one of the leaders. Yeah, boy. So sharp, there's now that I start going to this church. I become really serious with the church, and then I start making friends at church. Now there was a guy who was part of the worship team. Him and I were like the only gay guys. Well, let me not say the only gay guys, but let me say we were the only gay guys that I knew of in the worship team. Okay, sharp. So I made friends with him, and then I started also being part of the men's ministry. So I was very, very, very active in the church. The leader of the men's ministry was this other guy. We'll give him the name Samuel. Okay, because it's biblical. I don't even know what Samuel means, okay, but it's a biblical name. So his name is Samuel. Samuel. Okay, let me not say Sam because I think I've talked about a Sam before. So let me just say Samuel. So Samuel was a Venda guy. He wasn't tall, but like guys, if you know me, you know I'm very short. So a lot of people are taller than me. So, but he wasn't relatively a tall guy. He was just taller than me. Very good looking. And again, very good looking one is very subjective because me, myself, and I like medium ugly guys. And Usam was a bit of a medium ugly guy. So he was dark skinned, beautiful smile, white sparkling teeth, beautiful eyes, great physique. Oh my God, that man's body, okay? Had a great physique, Sam. Samuel was not married as far as I know, right? He wasn't married and he was like a single guy to leading the men's ministry, very on fire for God. And I respected that and I liked that. And I was like, I'm low-key attracted to that. So I joined the men's ministry as well. So I'm now part of the youth ministry, men's ministry, worship team. I am literally in every single department at church, very, very active. Now, Samuel and I start, because I'm like new in the church, he like pulls me close to him to like guide me in the ways of this church. One thing I love is a man that takes lead and a man that's going to show me the ropes and a man that is going to guide me. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Guide me then. So we exchange numbers and we like talk on a regular. He invites me to his cell group because Usam lived in Cosmos City. I lived in North Riding. There wasn't a cell group yes in North Riding. The cell that was closest to me was one that was in extension. I don't know extension what, but there's an extension that is close to North Riding. Bang at Jekyll Creek. So he lived close to that side. Yeah, bon? Sharp. So he invites me to his cell group and him and I established a friendship. Yeah, bon? But now with our friendship, again, it's we're not talking worldly things. Our conversations are mostly about church and church events and things and that need to be done at church and our conversations were never personal. Okay, so I'm just using the word friendship very loosely here. So he was like a mentor at church, if I can put it that way. Yabo, sharp. So Sam and I keep saying Sam and I, Sana, as if Kukona and I, him and I. Bitch. So as time goes on, I leave North Riding. Remember, guys, I think I've told the story that I started dating someone that I met who was working at clientele, and then we moved to town together, got an apartment together, and moved in together, right? So that happened, and then I moved to town with this guy, and then one day, like he did me dirty and left me like with the apartment and just disappeared and vanished. Yeah, bo. So you guys know the story. I've told it before. If you don't know the story, I'm sorry, there's a number. I don't know what I titled the story. I don't know if I'm gonna link it down below, but yeah, that was the story, right? So I moved to town and then I lived with my then boyfriend. Yeah, bo. So I still went to church in Cosmos City, which was very, very, very far. So my then boyfriend would like drop me off for rehearsals, come pick me up. On Sundays, he would drop me off as well, then picks me up again after church, and. Now, Usam sees this guy and is always like Kubani lo mfana, why doesn't he come to church? I'm like, no man, this is just like a friend of mine, da 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 da. Yena, he goes to this particular church, not our kind of church. So he keeps like saying, are you sure that this is just a friend? So in my head, I'm like, why are you asking, am I sure that this is just a friend? I'm saying to you, this is just a friend. And we are both males. So what are you thinking? What are you insinuating? Like, that was my thought process. But now, there's a lot that you know. There's a lot that you are aware of even before I told you. Okay? Sharp. So now there was one time. So Sam Kenguku, let me also say this. Samuel had a business, like a transport business. He had shuttles, he had taxis, he had ibus and stuff like that. So at church, he was the person that owned or that would drive about, like, say after rehearsals, he would drop us off at like our places. So one time, because me and my other gay friend from the worship team, both of us lived in town, ne? So one Saturday after rehearsals, Samuel came to drop me and that guy off in town. So he saw where I stayed, and when he was in my neighborhood, he was like, oh, I normally come around here, like I'm always around here. No. I'm like, oh yeah, where? He's like, aye. So I'm like, suspicious. Why don't you want to tell me where do you normally go when you're around my neighborhood? Yeah, but I don't ask, I don't interrogate, I don't investigate, I just let it be. Sure. Now, one time, it was during the week or on a Friday. I think on a Friday evening. I am home. It's winter. It is cold. I am laying on the couch. I think the time was like 11 to 12. Past 11 to 12. I'm at my place. I'm laying on the couch. I have a blanket on. I have the heater on, and I'm watching TV, and I'm having myself like a glass of wine, but I'm just drinking at home. I'm not out. Yeah, bom. I get a call, and the call is from Sam. He's like, hey, where are you? I can hear Apa Koyo. There's a lot of commotion behind him. And I'm like, I can't hear you. He's like, where are you? I'm like, I'm at my place. What's up? He's like, no, I'm around your place. Can I come through? Excuse me? He's like, no, I am around your place. Like I said, I normally come to your side of town. So can I come through, see you? No. I'm like, bro, the time now is like 2:12. So what do you mean? He's like, no, man, I don't think I can drive and go home at this time and in this state. So he doesn't say what state he's in. So I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, come through. Remember, this man has dropped me off before, so he knows where I live. So he called me, he's like, I'm downstairs, Nyanka. I quickly go downstairs, I sign him in, and then I show him to a parking lot. I'm like, yo, you can park your car here. And then when he comes out of the car, he comes out of the car with a bottle of Hennessy. Yeah, bro? So he's holding a bottle of Hennessy. It's like it's already been drank. Yeah. So whoever was drinking it already has had a few glasses or whatever of this. It's like there by the half, half mark, yeah, bro? So I'm shocked to see him holding alcohol, because remember, this is the leader of our men's ministry at church. I didn't realize or think that this man even drinks. Yeah, bro? So I'm like, hi. So he comes and he like gives me a hug. He's like, hey. And I could smell the liquor on him. I'm like, okay, he was drinking. Namke, obviously upstairs, I'm having wine. And when he called me and said he's coming, and I quickly cleaned up and I put the wine in the fridge and then we go up. We go into my unit and I'm like, oh yeah, so welcome to my humble abode. It's like, oh, cute place. Da, da, da. So he sees the blanket on the couch. Yeah, but he's like, so bekele nana, like, do you have this blanket out for me? And I'm like, no. I was just watching TV. When you will sleep in the bedroom, I'll sleep in the lounge. Yeah, but one thing about my friends know I will always take the couch and I will offer you my bed. Like, if you come and visit me, I will say, like, if we don't sleep together in the same bed, I'll take the couch, you'll take the bed. Like, I won't say take the couch, I'll take the bed. Yeah, but I always offer you the bed and then I take the couch. Now, the couch I had at the time was huge. It was humongous and very comfortable. Like, I loved sleeping like couch. So I'm like, no man, you can take the bed, I'll take the couch. No. He's like, no, let's chill. Yeah, but what are you doing? Like, I'm like, no, I was having wine. So he's like, oh, you drink when? I'm like, I guilty. Now you drink. Yeah, but so we like laughing at the fact that we've both clocked each other. But uyaphuza, uyasela, uyadakwa. You know? So he's like, no, must chill, must style, let's drink. Yabo? Nyanike, we drink this bottle, and we're laying on the couch. So he's laying on the other side, I'm laying on this side. We're both watching TV, but like zinyaw zethu ezidibene, like our feet are like, and our legs are like here, and then our heads are on the different sides of the couch. But we're watching the same TV. And we're talking, we're doing conversations nice, and he's like, so at this time, my then boyfriend and I had already broken up. This is when he had left me with the house and left me with the apartment and disappeared and vanished from my life. Yeah, boy? Now, we're watching TV, Kenya, and we're talking. It's nice. Yeah, boy? Sharp. And then eventually he's like, so I'm like, I think I see that he's starting to fall asleep. Vuka, wake up, go to the bedroom. Yeah, go sleep in the bedroom. He's like, no, come with me. Yeah, but I don't think. So now I think I also assumed and thought on his behalf, but he's not going to be comfortable in my bedroom alone while I'm in the lounge, because he was like, I'm not gonna sleep in your bedroom if you're not sleeping there as well. And I was like, it makes sense. So I'm like, okay, cool, we'll both sleep in the bed, and I can't do it. We are both guys, and as much as I like him, but I don't think he sees me like that. This is a man of God. This is a man with morals. Or so I thought, yeah, bro? And I don't think he would even, like, it didn't cross my mind ukuba anything could happen in bed. So I was very comfortable with going into the bed with him and us just passing out and falling asleep. Sharp. Guys, my scalp is so itchy because we get into the bedroom, right? So at this point, he's wearing jeans. And I don't know what he's wearing on top. I think a sweater or something. And I was in my PJs already because I was home all this time. So I only had a gown on. So I take off the gown, difake wardrobe in. Now, dimbuze bana, can I offer you a BVD? Because I have boxes that I can offer him to like sleep in. Yeah, but he's like, no, it's fine. I'll sleep in my undies. I'm like, okay, cool. And he takes off his jeans and takes off like his sweater and is left with a vest and undies. Now, one thing about me, because I am a dirty old whore, I will look. So I look down there and I'm like, oh, he's well and out there. Like, so I can see the print because he's wearing like tight briefs, and I'm like, oh, yes, I am cool. Like, wow, so big. Yeah, but obviously I'm not going to be like, oh my God, and vocalize my shock and my surprise. And so I just looked, I'm like, oh, okay, no, this man has a good package down there. So, but again, I am not trying to, my thing here is not that I'm going to seduce him. I'm going to try and trick him into sleeping with me. That's not what's going to happen tonight. Tonight, we are going to sleep, wake up tomorrow, and he leaves, and then I see him at church, and life is going to continue as normal. Or so I thought, my Ange. So I thought, we get into bed. We're still talking and we're looking at each other, like facing each other. So I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and we're like just talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. And I don't even think the conversation was that deep. We were just talking about everything and anything. Eventually, I'm like, okay, no, good night. I turn around and I face that side. He's still facing me, yeah, bro. Obviously, during the course of, let me not say obviously, because it's not obvious. It's not obvious. So during the course of the night, we and Amanduke will gravitate towards each other because of his body heat. So I could feel him right behind me. Yeah, bro? I could literally feel him right behind me. And you know when someone has fallen into sleep and they are asleep, even the way they breathe changes. Even the way their heart beats changes. Now with this guy, his heart was beating so fast, I could hear it. Yeah, bro? So I'm like, Haibo, is he nervous? And I could hear him trying to like control his breathing. And I'm like thinking to myself, what's making him so nervous? Like, is he not comfortable? Is he fine? So Dibuze, are you awake? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what grand? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I could tell that he's awake and I'm also awake. It's been like an hour of us in bed. And so now I'm like thinking to myself, so a lot of thoughts are going through my mind, but I wonder what's going on with him. What is he thinking? Why isn't he asleep? Because this guy, Usele man, Sisele Sobabini, both of us have drank something. Both of us are a bit tispinyana. So why isn't he passing out? Kanti Uswine is up to no good. He is planning something. So he moves closer and closer and closer up until he was like right behind me. So now we are spooning. Okay? We are spooning. He doesn't have his arms around me, but he's literally right behind me, and his groin is right by my butt. So I'm like, wow. And then obviously 5 minutes into that, I can feel the ding ding yake knocking on my behind, and I'm like, what were you gonna do? This is a man that you have had a crush on. This is a man that you find really attractive. This is a man that you kind of like, but you weren't sure that he's about your vibe. He's about your gender. He dates people like you. You were like, this is a man that you like. This is a man that you find attractive. And now we are in bed together, and he seems to be sexually attracted to me at this very moment, and seems to be aroused, and maybe he wants to do bad things with me. He wants to do things of the sexualia, as Usims would say. So now, guys, I'm like, obviously, I'm pushing back, you know? I'm pushing back and moving very close to him, and I'm pushing into that ding ding yak. So he is hard, okay? And now he puts his arm around me and he pulls me close to him. I turn around, guys, because one thing about me, I am not going to wait up until you make a move. I'm going to make my own move, because I can tell that you want to, but are you scared? Are you scared? I'm gonna show you how easy I am, because one thing about me, I'm easy. I'm easy. So I turn around, I look at him, we open our eyes and we look at each other, we start kissing. We kiss. No talking. There's no talking. We kiss. Discoupeza underwear, underwear. I pull it down, and obviously, guys, yat into your corner. Yat his thing, and I went down. Men of God. Andy tonight, Petululu. andiphethulule naye ibe yi-10 yakhe amantshi naye abe lapha. Hey, so now I'm like, so in my head I'm like, this man knows what the fuck he's doing. This man knows what he is doing. He's not a stranger to eating booty and sucking dick. He knows what he's doing. Nyani ke guys, we as expected, sharp. After we were done, anticlimax. After we were done, I get up, I go to the bathroom, I come back. When I come back, this guy is putting on his clothes. I'm like, and then where are you going? What's up? It's like, oh, what we did was so wrong. Don't. This was never supposed to happen. Wara. We cannot be doing this. It's so wrong in the eyes of God. Two men cannot lay with each other. He starts quoting scripture, and I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, but so now I'm like, what's going on? Like, he starts telling me how wrong what we did was. And he's like, no, you're not was a little lounge. I'm like, oh, okay. And we had left the blanket, Leah, basically, lounge, in the lounge. She's like, no, I'm going to go sleep in the lounge. I'm like, oh, okay. That's weird because both of us had an amazing time. Yes, alcohol was involved, but I don't think he was drunk to that point where he doesn't know what he was doing. He was very much aware of what he was doing. But whatever happened. We wake up in the morning and he doesn't even talk to me. He's like, okay, I'm gonna leave now. I'm leaving. Sharp. Gone. I go to church on Saturday because I have rehearsals. Get to a rehearsals, we rehearse. He doesn't pitch to come pick us up to go drop us off. Angafiki. And now these guys are asking me to text him. Lelo, please text him, because him and I, like at church, people knew that we had a friendship. Yeah, bo? So he's like, so people now are saying, please text him and tell him to come pick us up. No, I'm not gonna do that. Haibo. That will text guys from a Cosmo. I came back to town. Epsuku get taxi. That will taxi. Dafika. I went back to church on Sunday. He didn't talk to me. He didn't even look in my direction. And I'm like, oh. Like, ingathi ndim, now, I'm starting to feel like, it's like I'm the one who imposed what we did on him. Because why is he giving me the cold shoulder? We did what we did together. So if you are feeling bad about it, let's talk about it. So now I'm not going to nanga him. I'm not going to beg him to talk to me. So I stop now. I stop talking to him. I don't text him. I don't do anything. Fast forward now a couple of months later. We went to Venda. I think I've once mentioned going to Venda for a church trip. So his dad is a pastor in Venda, and they have a church in Venda. So now there was a conference and they wanted people to come and sing at that conference. So he asked our pastor if the worship team can go to Venda. He's going to transport the worship team to Venda and back on Sunday. So we'll leave on Friday, come back on Sunday. He's going to accommodate us at his home in Venda and so basically we're going on this trip through him or via him. Sharp. So for everyone else is going to meet at church. I work in Sandton, and everyone is gonna meet at church, and I'm working on that Friday. So obviously I am not going to. I think the meet-up time was like 3. We're gonna leave at 3. So okay, now I have to talk to him, right? And tell him, listen, I understand and the time to meet up is 3 o'clock. I'm only knocking off at 4. So I am going to go to the office with my bags. Please go past Sandton, and then we'll take the freeway from Sandton and then go to Limpopo. So pick me up from the office. It's like sharp. But even then, I think he just sent me like the emoji after I sent him my text. Whatever, as long as you got the message. At this point in time, I don't give a fuck about this guy. Yeah, but it's been a couple of months. He's not talking to me. I'm not talking to him as well. And that's that on that. And it's fine. Yeah, but sharp. We go to Venda. We get to Venda, and we got there in the AMs on Saturday, like in the early AMs, and we were assigned to our rooms, and then on Saturday the conference was, I think the conference started on the Friday, so we were only gonna sing on Saturday and Sunday. Now Nyanike, the whole day we were having church, yeah, well, and we were at church and things were nice. We were singing, we were up on stage, and things are nice. After that, he says to the other gay guy and I, Ukuba. So like we were just chilling. It's just me and who? What am I gonna call him? Let's call him Paul. Ne? The gay guy is Paul. So Paul and I are chilling. It's after the conference on Saturday. We're just chilling and talking. And then we see Samuel walking towards us. Samuel gets to us and is like, hey, what's up? What are you guys doing? Like, no, we're just chilling and just talking, nothing much. He's like, do you guys want to come with me? I'm going to town. No. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So now I'm shocked that he's talking to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we are fine now, I guess. But now one thing about me, I hold a grudge. If you did me dirty and then you come back as if nothing happened, I am not going to be on the same wavelength as you up until you apologize to me because you did me dirty. Yeah, bro? So I'm still very much standoffish with him and towards him. And Paul Liena doesn't realize what's going on because he has no idea. I don't talk to Paul about my sex life and the people that I sleep with and whatever. So Paul is very oblivious to what's happening, and I'm just an office towards him. I just answer and then I look outside. So we get to town and we do whatever. So he's trying to now buy my forgiveness because like, do you want something? Do you want chocolate? So, but because we are in one of his mini buses, and in front it's him and Paul, and then I'm at the back, yeah, well? So he keeps looking back like, do you want anything? I'm gonna go to the shops. Do you want a chocolate? Should I bring you? Don't. And I'm like, no, I'm good. So Paul is like, yeah, well, so now Paul is like looking and pissing, but hey man, why is this guy nagging you? Why is he trying to soften you up? What's going on? I'm like, let it be. Yeah, well? Sharp. Ipele imini. Yeah, Saturday. Sunday comes as well. The conference is amazing, and then it's time for us to drive back to Joburg. Now remember, this man knows where I live, right? So we drive. Paul has a sister that goes to our church, so his whole family goes to our church, and his family house is in Cosmo. He lives in Joburg CBD because, he's a student at Wits, right? He's a student at Wits, so he lives in town because he goes to Wits, but his family home is in Cosmo. So we drive, we leave Venda, we get to Joburg. When we get to Joburg, he doesn't go to Joburg CBD. He drives straight to Cosmo. Everyone disembarks from the taxi or from the minibus that we are on. Everyone gets off and everyone is like calling their parents or calling whoever, come pick me up, we just got dropped off at church. Everyone that we go to church with lives in Cosmo City. I'm now the only one who has to go back to the CBD. This guy, who Samuel is driving, drove us from Venda to where we are. He knows where I live, right? But because he could have literally started by dropping me off and then going to a Cosmo City to drop off everyone else. But he decided to say, I am not going to drop you off at your place. So now I'm sitting there like, and I'm saying I want to leave. And I'm like, Paul? So I'm asking Sam like, Samuel, you didn't drop me off. He's like, okay, you can sleep over at my place. Now, to me, this is very, I'm like, because him and I aren't on good terms. And now I'm thinking, well, he's doing this deliberately because he's trying to force my hand into talking to him and being good with him. So now I'm thinking to myself, okay, you know what? We'll get to his place and we'll just sleep. The one thing I am telling myself is that I am not going to sleep with him because, like, I gave you bums and you freaked out and you gave me a sermon about how wrong what we did was. So I'm not gonna give you bums again. Like, even if you beg me, I'm not. Nyan, everyone else leaves, they go home, and then it's just Sam and I. We go to Sam's place. When I get there, Nyani, I'm like, where am I gonna sleep? He's like, no, my place is a 1-bedroom, so you're gonna sleep in my bed. I'm like, can't I sleep in the couch? He's like, no, I don't want people sleeping in the couch. Like, he makes an excuse about why I can't sleep in the lounge. I'm like, okay, cool, sharp. We go to his bed, we get into bed, and we sleep. Now, he's trying to make moves. He's trying to touch me, and I'm like, no, man, don't do this. Yeah, well, like, please don't do it. So he's trying to like soft talk me, like, no, man, I'm so sorry. And so now I'm starting to feel like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's table everything out. I'm like, listen, whatever happened between you and I happened, right? We can't take it back. And you expressed how you felt about what happened. You gave me a sermon. You told me how wrong it was, and. But it's what happened after for me that gets to me. You made me feel like the scum of the earth. You weren't talking to me. You weren't even acknowledging me in the presence of abanye abantu. We would be in a cell meeting. You would not even look in my direction. So, which is why I was like, I'm now feeling like I did something wrong to you. That's how that's how it feels and looks like. Yeah, well, people have been asking me, Haibo, I haven't seen you and Sam talking to each other. Like, is everything fine? What's going on? And I'm like, yeah, things are fine. So I've been lying to people because I don't want people to start digging. So we talk and talk. And then he then apologizes. Yeah, but still, I know how you feel about us. You understand? So I'm not gonna give him bums. Still, he tries like I'm sure for 2 hours, and I'm like, it's not gonna happen. Let's just sleep. Phakama umfana, he stood up from the bed with a hat on and said, pack your stuff, get the fuck out of my place. I'm like, excuse me? He's like, Ngaluphume. Like, please leave, because right now I don't even know why you are here. I don't even know why you are in my bed. You are denying me imbundu, and I'm like, yeah. You're not getting bums. That's all I'm saying. You're not getting bums. He says, get the fuck out. I said, sharp. Guys, go 2 a.m. in the morning. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. I got out of that bed. I looked for my clothes. I got my clothes. I took my bag that I had packed. Luckily, remember, in Cosmo City, I was very familiar with it because I lived in North Riding and I came to Cosmo every single week. I was in Cosmo literally a lot of times, and I had friends who were in Cosmo. So I called one of my friends. I was very tempted to call Paul but I didn't want Paul to know that Sam had kicked me out because he was going to ask why. And then I wasn't going to have a good enough excuse as to why he kicked me out. So I packed my stuff. I called one of my friends that I worked with. Remember when I did that story time about, yeah. So I called one of my friends that I used to work with. And then I was like, listen, I'm in Cosmo and I'm stranded. Please come pick me up. She said, babe, give me 5 minutes. Baby girl was there in 5 minutes. I went to a place. I told her the story. She laughed. She's like, oh my God, he's an ass. So on Sunday, the following week, when I saw Paul, I was like, when I saw Sam, like it was on, like Donkey Kong. It was on site because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to talk to this guy ever ever again. And I didn't. I was like, now it's my turn to ignore him. I ignored him up until I stopped going to that church. Till today.
Yaphela kanjalo ke into yami noRapeleng. Ngiyayibona ilula kanjani? Yaze yaphela njalo into kaRapeleng nam.
I have never spoken to him. Let me not say till today. Till recently when I bumped into him and he was like, wena? I was like, so he asked me to unblock him and what. I was like, I am not gonna do that. Because insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results. Imagine me giving someone like him bums and then he wakes up after nutting and saying what we did was wrong. The fuck? So that's the story, you guys. If you enjoyed it, please give it a huge thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe to my channel. Super thanks me to the most. Let's kick it down below. What do you think Samuel's problem was? Was he in denial of his sexuality? Was he just on the DL? What was going on? Give me your hypotheses down below in the comment section, and I will see you in the comment section and in my next video. Bye.